It's time for Mornings at 8 with Jonathan Mark on AM 1480 WLEA.
Well, yes, it is time for Mornings at 8. It is 8:05, and here we go on a Tuesday morning. Tuesday. That's right. At least it's not Monday, so we needn't go through all that all over again. So here we are, smack dab in the work week. Okay. Let me see the big weekend coming up. It's Labor Day weekend, and the New York State Festival of Balloons will be held in Dansville, and that's always a big draw. You know, I was thinking about that. I've been in airplanes. I've been in big airplanes and small airplanes and military airplanes and helicopters, but I've never been up in a balloon. I think that'd be kind of fun. I don't know. One of these days, like maybe I'll try it. I don't know. Okay, let's see here. Well, interesting comment from Assemblywoman Marjorie Burns about the South Hornell Fire Department. So maybe they need a new firehouse or something? I don't know. That's kind of interesting. So she's asking for input from local fire departments. Huh. Okay. Well, yesterday when we left, let me see. I did a story that appeared in Newsweek. And yesterday was National Dog Day. And he says here why dogs are better than cats, according to science. And that appeared in Newsweek. But then, a couple of weeks ago, they had a story why cats are better than dogs, also in Newsweek, according to science. So I did the dog story, but I didn't get around to the cat story, so we'll see which is right. Who knows? A little recap here. It says that dogs have more neurons than cats. And research from a collective of academics, including Vanderbilt University and the University of California, found that dogs had around 500 million neurons in their cerebral cortex, double the amount of a cat. And I just imagine what a cat would say about that. Oh, really? So you have 500 million neurons. Big deal. That's how cats are. And this means that dogs have more awareness and better predictability when it comes to events based on what they've experienced in the past. So a cat has a short attention span, eh? I don't think so. You ever see a cat stalking a mouse or a mole? They can be at it for hours. Anyway, also, dogs have more cancer-detecting noses, or have cancer-detecting noses. That's right. Working dogs at Penn Vet are being trained to detect ovarian cancer. And let me see, we've always known that dogs have an incredible sense of smell. I like to say that they smell in color, says Dr. Cindy Otto, executive director of the center. What we're trying to do with this study is harness that remarkable ability to inform and create an electronic system for detecting early-stage ovarian cancer. Okay. More recently, the Journal of the American Osteopathic Association published research that showed dogs could correctly identify lung cancer. So I've read a couple of stories over the past, maybe year or two, that, it's really interesting how dogs can smell cancer. And that really is remarkable. Let me see. What else have we here? According to research by the American College of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology, 1 in 7 children, ages between 6 and 19, are allergic to cats, double that of those allergic to dogs. As reported in Live Science, the reason cat allergies are more common is to do with the size and shape of protein molecule found on cat skin. Okay, let me see. Mark Larcher, an immunology professor at McMaster University in Ontario, up in Canada, confirms that the protein from cat skin is so small and light that it can stay airborne for hours, whereas dog allergens do not stay airborne for as long. And then it winds up by saying dogs are better for your health. Well, that's pretty subjective, I think. But anyway, I like dogs. I like dogs a lot. Dogs are better for your health. I don't know. So there we go. So that was in Newsweek, why dogs are better than cats according to science. And then we also have in Newsweek, why cats are better than dogs. Just covering all the bases. That's what they're doing, covering all the bases. And let me see, International Cat Day was, earlier this month. And according to this article, cats evolve better than dogs. According to research published in PNAS, that's a website dealing with cats and dogs and animals, according to research published, cats accelerated the extinction of dogs. Now, how is that possible? It says here, with their migration from Eurasia. An international team, including scientists from the universities of Gutenberg, Sao Paulo, and Lausanne, analyzed over 2,000 fossils and revealed that the arrival of cats to North America from Asia had a deadly impact on the diversity of the dog family, contributing to the extinction of as many as 40 of their species. And let me see, who's this? Author Danielle Silvestro says we usually expect climate changes to play an overwhelming role in the evolution of biodiversity. Instead, competition among different carnivore species proved to be even more important for dogs. That's what she said. And what else have we here? Cats seem to be better in the realm of politics. Mayor Stubbs was a cat that officially held the highest office of mayor for 20 years in Talkeetna, Alaska. Okay, so Mayor Stubbs was mayor of the little town there for 20 years. However, Mayor Duke, a dog, only served 5 years as mayor of Cormorant Township in Minnesota before retiring, and he died in February 2019. Okay, it also says here that cats live longer than dogs. According to the Guinness World Records, Cream Puff, the cat, was 38 years and 3 days old when he died in 2005. 38-year-old cat, man. The owner, Jake Perry, who had also owned the previous oldest cat record holder, and Grandpa Rex Allen, passed away at 34. Okay, however, the oldest dog was a collie named Bluey, who died at the grand age of 29 years and 5 months. And that's according to the Guinness World Records book there. And he worked among cattle and sheep for 20 years before being put down in 1939. So, the oldest dog was 29 years, and the oldest cat was 38 years. Okay, so cats live longer than dogs. And this is kind of, I thought this was so cool. Who would have thunk this? Okay, whether this story is true, it says here, remains to be seen. However, according to How Stuff Works, famous scientist Sir Isaac Newton invented the cat door. The cat door. Because his experiments were constantly being interrupted during his time at the University of Cambridge. The cats would scratch at his office door, and Newton became so annoyed that he summoned a carpenter and had him saw 2 holes in his door. It was his office or study or something. 2 holes. One for the mother cat and a small one for her babies, little kittens. Now, it says here there's no consensus whether this story is true, but there are indeed, even now, 2 cat doors in the office. And they've been there since, when did Isaac Newton? Sometime in the 17th century. Anyway, yeah. So the door to his office or study still has 2 cat doors. So he is credited with being the inventor of the cat door. I mean, who knows? Now, being a cat person, now, you know, I've had dogs in the past, and my wife has had dogs in the past, but in the time that we've known each other, we're cat people, right? So I'm just, you know, it's a law, I think it's one of the little-known laws of physics, that a cat always finds itself on the wrong side of a door. Whichever side of the door the cat's on, it's on the wrong side, and he wants to be on the other side. So you can stand there and open the door and close the door, and open the door and close the door, and the cat's going in and out, and in and out, and in and out. That's just how they are. That's how cats are. And when you have 3 cats like we do, you can stand there and be a doorman for hours, just opening the door and closing the door, and opening the door and closing it. It's kind of weird. Anyway, so it's always on the wrong side of a door. So I have this picture. Now, I'm just speculating here. I have no idea. But there's Sir Isaac, and he's in his office. And his door is closed. And he's working on his laws of motion or something. And he hears a scratching at the door, and a scratching at the door. So he gets up, okay, fine. He opens the door, and here comes the cat, right? Jumps right smack on the desk, and he lays right on his papers. Okay? So here's Sir Isaac trying to work, trying to figure out his laws of motion. And there's his cat laying smack on the papers. He picks up the cat, get down, get down, just off the desk. And the cat jumps back on the desk, right? Only this time, the cat knocks over an inkwell. Of course, Sir Isaac is using a quill pen, right? So the cat jumps back up on the desk, walking all over the papers, and he won't leave. Knocks over the inkwell. And the ink flows down over the calculations that Sir Isaac is doing. So it kind of smears some of the numbers, right? This brand new ink smears some of the numbers. And Sir Isaac looks down and says, maybe those numbers weren't right. Let me just do a little recalculating here. Well, I'll be darned. This is better. This is better. So, theoretically, a cat could have had something to do with the laws of motion, as drawn up by Sir Isaac Newton. So it's entirely. I'm telling you, prove me wrong. Tell me how I'm wrong, right? So a cat might possibly has influenced modern physics. You have no idea. You had to be there. Anyway, I'm just hypothesizing here. I have no idea, but it's quite possible that a cat influenced how we look at physics now. So there's that. Okay, we have those four-legged animals, and then we have two-legged animals. Yeah, and I think, the more you find out about some people, the more you like cats. At least that's the way I look at it. Anyway, man assaulted by angry drunk mob for wearing MAGA hat into Portland bar. Okay, guy's in a bar in Portland, right? A man in Portland took his wife out for a night on the town on Friday, this past Friday, and he ended up with a gashed and bloody nose, with two suspects facing charges all over the man's apparent support of President Trump. That's right. The cops in Portland say a man and a woman were arrested early Saturday morning for assault, and the man who was attacked says it's all because of his Make America Great Again hat. There you go. Around 12:50 a.m., officers responded to a report of a disturbance at a bar. Luke Lenzner told Fox 12 that he and his wife were on a date night. He said right when they got there, they were attacked outside the patio by people upset about the hat. He says, I got mobbed by everybody that was in that bar outside. People came from the inside out, just circled me and my wife. Lenzner attests that things escalated between people outside the bar. And that's when the cops say a 22-year-old man and a 23-year-old woman assaulted Lenzner and his wife, surrounding me, like literally surrounding me and pushing me. I'm just trying to get through, trying to stop the person from hitting me, from taking my hat, and then I got sucker punched. Now this guy, there's a photograph of him. This is a pretty big guy. I mean, it looks like he could take care of himself, but apparently he was having a hard time. So he got sucker punched. The suspects were arrested a few blocks away, and they're charged with charged with assault. So this guy is in a bar, and he's wearing a MAGA hat, and he's assaulted. At least that's what the story says. Now, however, to be perfectly fair, witnesses, including the bartender, say Lenzner was the one who started it. In security footage, he can be seen pointing to his hat and saying something as he left. And the witnesses say that's what started it all. But what can you say, point to a hat and say, that would make people assault you? And it wasn't just two, it was a whole mob of them from inside the bar. Only these two people were charged with assaulting him, It's kind of weird. As I said, the more I found out about some people, the more I like cats. Okay, where are we going here now? Okay. Yes, in light of that, I think it pays to be optimistic. I know it's really hard to be optimistic sometimes, but it is possible. Optimistic people, let's say, this was a blog from Brain and Behavior. Optimistic people live as much as 15% longer than pessimists, according to a new study spanning thousands of people in 30 years. Scientists combined data from two large long-term studies, one including 69,744 women and another of 1,429 men, all of whom completed questionnaires that assessed their feelings about the future. After controlling for health conditions, behaviors like diet and exercise, and other demographic information, the scientists were able to show that the most optimistic women lived an average of 14.9% longer than their more pessimistic peers. And for the men, the results were a little less dramatic. The most optimistic of the bunch lived 10.9% longer than their peers on average. The team reports in the Proceedings of National Academy of Sciences. The most optimistic women were also 1.5 times more likely to reach 85 years old than the least optimistic women, whereas the most optimistic men were 1.7 times more likely to make it to that age. So, the conclusion is, it pays to be optimistic, right? Yeah, it pays to be optimistic. Yeah, there are crazy people out there, and that's all there is to it, and there always will be. But you must be optimistic. I think I would say most people are. At least that's what I hope. Well, insurance. Speaking about a crazy world, insurance, everybody needs insurance. And you could do no better than the Ryan Agencies. They have offices in Hornell, Jasper, and Wellsville. They offer sound, unbiased advice. They're independent. They're friendly. They're local. They really are looking out for you, and they will steer you in the right direction and the right company and the right the prices. So you can see their website at ryanagency.com, a really good website. You can find a whole bunch of stuff about them there. They are the Ryan Agencies.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
In baseball games of note, the Yankees knock off the Mariners 5-4. New York moves a half game up on Houston for the top record in the American League. The Dodgers still have the best record in Major League Baseball and in the National League, but they lose in San Diego to the Padres 4-3. A's crush the Royals 19-4. Oakland leadoff man Marcus Semien had 7 RBI as Oakland moves into a tie with idle Tampa Bay for the number 2 wildcard spot in the American League. Cardinals roll over the Brewers 12-2. St. Louis has won 5 in a row. They're now 3 games up on Chicago atop the NL Central. Milwaukee is still 2.5 games back of an NL wildcard spot behind the Cubs. It was the Phillies walking off with a 6-5 win over the Pirates in 11 innings thanks to a Sean Rodriguez solo homer. Philadelphia moves 1 game back of Chicago for that number 2 wildcard spot in the NL. Diamondbacks down the Giants 6-4. Arizona still 4 out of a wildcard spot in the National League. And the Braves' 8-game winning streak comes to an end as they fall in Colorado to the Rockies by a score of 3-1.
From the Fox Business Network, Johnson & Johnson shares are higher this morning, though an Oklahoma judge ruled the company is liable for expanding the opioid crisis and must pay $572 million. The lawsuit was seeking $17 billion. However, the Wall Street Journal says there are more than 2,000 lawsuits around the U.S. targeting drug makers. They're consolidated in Ohio. Arguments are expected to begin in the fall. Luxury department store chain Barney's is apparently close to a deal to sell itself to Farfetch. The potential buyer is an online business selling luxury goods. The New York Post says Farfetch was able to negotiate a better deal with the landlord at Barney's Madison Avenue flagship store. The rent had doubled this year to $30 million. The Dow was up 269 yesterday. NASDAQ added 101, S&P up 31. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Kosola.
Do you want to learn to speak a new language but don't have enough time? Then you need to try Babbel, the language learning app that you can try for free right now at Babbel.com. Babbel's lessons are just 15 minutes or less, and you can go at your own pace. You'll be amazed at how easy Babbel makes it. Start your first lesson in the language of your choice for free. Just download the Babbel app or go to Babbel.com now. That's Babbel.com.
Today at Simmons Rockwell Ford, drive away in a new Ford F-150 lease for only $339 a month. A new 2019 F-150 STX Crew Cab 4x4 equipped with a 2.7 V6 EcoBoost engine, running boards, 20-inch alloy wheels, lease with no money down and Ford Trade Assist for $339 a month for 36 months. Only tax and DMV fees are due at signing. Shop Simmons-Rockwell.com.
Well, we are back, but some people do absolutely remarkable feats of strength and endurance. This is incredible. Where did I get this from? Oh, I don't know. It was a TV station in Los Angeles. Okay, man paddleboards from San Francisco to Hawaii. Paddleboards in 76 days. You know what these paddleboards are? I mean, you're going across the ocean? Wow. An endurance athlete has conquered the Pacific Ocean. Now he's become the first person to cross the ocean as a stand-up paddleboarder. Antonio De La Rosa's journey started in San Francisco on June 9th. It ended this past Sunday, when De La Rosa arrived in Honolulu, Hawaii. The 50-year-old covered 2,500 miles of open ocean using his arms, wind, and the ocean's currents. De La Rosa used the Ocean Defender, that's a combination paddleboard and small boat, with a sleeping cabin, storage bins, and solar panels for power. He says he lost 10 pounds. He never got sick. He had very, very little sleep. But there's a video of this thing. And you're talking, I mean, this man, I guess on the front of the paddleboard thing, he had a camera. And this isn't like on a little pond or a little, I mean, these are ocean waves. And there's this guy paddling across the ocean. That's amazing. I mean, that is really something else. Yeah. What else can we tell you about here? Well, let me see. No, we'll do that one tomorrow. Here's a Walmart shopper. This is from the Miami Herald. They have some really strange people in Florida. I have more weird stories from Florida. I don't know about that. It must be the weather or something. A Walmart shopper rode his courtesy scooter out the door. And then he kept going, cops say. Most Walmart shoppers, it says here, most Walmart shoppers return their electric courtesy scooter provided by the store after they're done making their purchases. Okay, but not so with Mr. John Davis. According to the county sheriff there, at around 10:30 Saturday night, the 58-year-old guy rode his scooter out of the St. Petersburg area Walmart and then kept on going and going and going. It says, let me see, the defendant deprived the store of the right of their property after he rode their electric cart off the property and continued riding it approximately 1 mile east. The cops caught up with the suspect, who was, that's right, he was reportedly drunk. They got him at a nearby gas station, attempting to charge up the little motorized cart whose battery was running low. So he was arrested and charged with grand. You know those scooters about $1,500? Wow, that's grand larceny. So the scooter's about $1,500, and there's a photograph of this guy. Yeah, he looks like he might possibly steal a scooter and keep on going. Anyway, Davis did, it says here, did knowingly and unlawfully obtain to use or endeavor to obtain or to use the property, to wit, Walmart electric mobility car, with the intent to deprive the other person of the right of the property, and blah, 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 blah. And so anyway, so now he's charged with grand theft, and he's in jail on $2,000 bond. So there you go. Okay, I hear the sounder. Yes, I do. And I guess that's it for the show, and I will see you tomorrow at 8:05. Bye.